Hello. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. All good. So, um, as you see, I'm very tired because today, today we woke up at 3:30 in the morning. We started really early today, and here is 11:30 p.m. So many hours doing things, going around and doing stuff. And the only moment that I had to to rest and be quiet on the bus, I wrote the post for today in the blog. Um, so I don't have all my lights right now to do uh, the best alignment, but I wanted to be here as every day with all of you. So every time I say now, I will try to be brief, to not to explain much. But every time that I say this, I end up speaking a lot. So I will just say that I will speak 3 hours. So maybe I can speak only 5 minutes. I don't know. So let's go to the topic today. So today is the feet chakra, the ankle chakra, of the physical week of the month of Pisces. So tomorrow is our last day for the Pisces month. And the topic for today, of course, it is destiny. So, of course, that culturally we tend to believe that destiny is equal to purpose. But remember, purpose comes from the Latin proposit, that means something that is put ahead, in front. So we relate this idea of putting something in front of us where we are going to with destiny. So we used to say that destiny is those things that guide you towards to accomplish something that is the place where you are heading to, and that you cannot change it. That is something straight, like it should be. So you cannot do anything. Destiny is destiny. So of course, that from that point of view, we take the idea of destiny also talking about space, meaning that we call destiny the place where we are heading to on a trip, on a journey. So because of this idea of the destiny being the place where we are heading to, is also born the concept that inevitably we will go to that spot somehow, somewhere, in some time. So so it's impossible to escape from that destiny. That's the idea that we have been grown with regarding destiny. But when we go to the etymology of destiny, we can tell that the origin of the word tells that destiny is exactly the opposite to what we believe, the opposite to the concept that we have about destiny. So let's go to the etymology of destiny to understand the concept of destiny from the very beginning. This destiny comes from the Latin word destino, that comes from two words. De, that means going beyond, to leave, to move forward, and stinare, that is an epophony of stare. I explain. The origin of the word is stare, which is to be, but not to be happy or to be sad, to be on a place, okay, to be somewhere related to a space. So that the word is stare. And then this word, like many words along our languages and history, suffer an epophony. Epophony means that the sounds transform in something beyond. So that's why from stare became stinare. It's just mistakes in the language. So destiny comes from the idea of leaving a place, going away from a place, or starting to move after a time of being staring at something. In English, you have the word stare at, that is the same origin of stare. Okay, stare in Latin, stare in English is the same. To stare, watch something, and don't move. So destiny means to start to move and stop being staring at something. So as you can see with this etymology, destiny doesn't mean the place where you are going to. It means exactly the opposite. It means the movement that you do to stop being still in one place so you can move forward to reach that place. So it's the movement that you start to do so you are not staring. So we can tell now that regarding this concept of destiny, the main idea of destiny is the will of moving, of going towards a place. So destiny is related with the will, the action of deciding to go and move towards a purpose. So destiny is talking about the will of doing something, of transforming something. So actually, in the universe doesn't exist this idea of the destiny as something wrapped, like you cannot change and you are locked into that, and it should happen anyway. It doesn't matter what you do. This concept in the universe doesn't really exist by itself. So we are the ones deciding what is happening. Okay. But now the question would be, if it is like that, so why, even if we want to change things, sometimes they just happen, even if we go against it? So I will try to explain that now. So in order to understand why sometimes it seems that we have a destiny, we have to go back to the main ideas that we spoke many months ago, which is that the universe has 3 different stages of the mind: the conscious, the unconscious, and the subconscious. So the 3 of them are part of the universal mind. So this means that the three of them are part of the divine thinking. So once you remember these three different ways of thinking, we can acknowledge now that we are going to take decisions from the subconscious, we're going to take decisions from the unconscious, and we are going to take decisions from the conscious. So one of the great mistakes that we usually do is that we think that the conscious is related to the personality. And it's not. The personality is in the unconscious. So the essence is the one that is conscious, really. But the personality is unconscious. The body takes decisions from the subconscious to make us survive every day. The personality, the soul, takes decisions through the unconscious in order to try to be accepted, in the environment. By others, by culture, and so on. And then the conscious aspect is the one that takes decisions from the essence, the one that just is, in order to guide in balance the unconscious and the subconscious. So we have been divided so much in our point of view of the reality that we have been believing that if the things are not changing according to our will, if the things are still the same, even if we choose another reality, we start to believe that we are controlled by a bigger mind that rules our life like a hidden power or something like that, that is controlling our existence. So the reason why we believe that someone else is deciding for us is because when we are here in the third dimension is just the three-dimensional aspect of what we really are. Remember the week of the dimensions that we already spoke about. So the third dimension is just a manifestation of what we really are. Just a tiny manifestation in the third dimension of what we really are, of our own being. So by this, we can understand that the destiny is always your decision, the highest consciousness decision, and that the physical and the personality aspect of ourselves are just the manifested extension of the being that we are, of the choice that we made. Due to our way of life related so tied to the body and the soul, the subconscious and the unconscious, we live our lives believing that we are destiny, that we have a destiny to accomplish that we cannot control, when that destiny is a decision from the subconscious and the unconscious. When we start to become aware, so conscious about ourselves, we also start to become able to guide our unconscious and our subconscious. So when a person is living through the subconscious and the unconscious, is still having this feeling, this perception that there is a destiny that controls us. So where is the subconscious? In the cells, in the memory of biology, in the DNA, in the tree of life of the family. Where is the unconscious? In the soul, in astrology, in the culture, the traditions, the beliefs. So where is the conscious? Is in the essence, is in the coherence beyond personality. The essence of the conscious is beyond the idea of the ego, which is related to the unconscious. When I become aware of myself, when I become conscious, I start to remember that in the universe, the only one that took the decision to move forward was myself. From being just one particle staying still, staring in the universe. And it was my mind, the one that decided to move, that took the choice to keep going from one spot where I was staying still and start to move. It means destiny, destinare, to destine something. So this is why when I heal my relationship with the body, when I heal my relationship with the soul, and I start to live through the essence of the spirit, I can start to decide and control my own destiny. Because destiny is not those things that are written for me. Destiny is the intention that I set to move forward and exist. So don't blame the destiny. On the place of being irresponsible of our own unconscious. So now many questions can pop up, like, for example, people that is suffering or people that is poor, they don't choose to be like that. And when we do this kind of thoughts, are usually made from the point of view of a culture, of a tradition, of a belief, of a morality, which is not real. It's just a cultural perception of how things should be, but it's not related to reality. And I say this because from the point of view of humanity, to be poor is something, to be poor or to be rich is something much more related to an status in a society. But when you go to the nature, the state of being poor is normality. In nature, everyone is poor. In nature, everyone is rich. So the only thing that makes us believe what is poor and what is rich is human morality, according to our expectations of a society, a civilization. But for nature, there's no poor or rich. Have you ever thought about that? When you look into nature, everyone is poor. Only humans believe in the separation between poor and rich. So now you can see that when we try to judge the destiny, because some people is poor or some people is rich or these kind of things, we are not talking about the reality of the universe. We are talking about the point of view of morality in a human society. And we, in order to understand what destiny means, we have to take out the concepts of our civilizations to understand the reality. And the reality is that everyone, every day, is deciding the destiny. And why the destiny is related just to your decisions? Because the future depends on what you decide every day that you wake up. And I am not speaking about humans. I am speaking about the extension of a being in the third dimension. The reason why a bird can fly is because thousands of birds and other animals during thousands and millions of years were trying to fly. And they reached it. They accomplished that. So they got to the point of flying because many were trying to fly. It was the decision. It was the decision of many beings in this dimension of willing to fly that got the birds on the sky. As you see, the free will of destiny is not taken from one day to another by the personality. It's taken by a being throughout the eternity. So don't blame the universe. It's just a matter of time. Let's go to the alignment. The vibration for today is 2. The statement for today is, I am the manifested knowledge.